The cold metal floors of Kepler 442 mining station felt like ice against Veltar's bare feet. The small alien child pressed himself against the wall as another group of humans walked past. They did not see him hiding in the shadows between the maintenance pipes. Good. Most beings on this station did not like his kind. Veltar's stomach made a loud growling sound. He had not eaten in 3 days. The last of his family's emergency food had run out yesterday. His mother had always told him that Kithara children could survive longer without food than most species, but right now he felt like he might collapse. The maintenance sector was quieter than the main station areas. Veltar liked it here because fewer people came to bother him. The humming of machines and the steady drip of water from old pipes made him feel less alone. But being less alone did not fill his empty stomach. As he walked deeper into the maintenance area, Veltar saw something that made him stop. There was a large rectangular machine built into the wall. It had a glass front that showed rows of colorful packages inside. Some looked like food. His mouth began to water just looking at them. The machine had words written on it in standard language. Veltar could read some standard, though not very well. The biggest word said Snack Vendor Unit 7. Below that were smaller words about prices and payment methods. Veltar approached the machine slowly. His reflection stared back at him from the glass. He looked terrible. His normally bright purple skin had turned a sickly gray color. His large black eyes seemed too big for his thin face. His mother would have been very worried if she could see him now, but his mother was gone, his father was gone. His little sister was gone. The raiders had destroyed their transport ship while his family tried to escape their dying homeworld. Only Veltar had survived, trapped in an escape pod for days before being picked up by a human salvage crew. The humans had brought him to this station and then forgotten about him. He had no money, no identification, and no way to contact anyone who might help him. The station authorities said he could not stay, but they also would not help him leave. So he hid and tried to survive each day. Now he stood in front of this food machine, watching the packages of food that he could not buy. Each item had a price listed in galactic credits. The cheapest thing cost more money than Veltar had ever seen in his whole life. "Please," he whispered to the machine in his broken standard. "I am very hungry." The machine did not respond. Of course it would not. It was just a machine. But Veltar was desperate and had no one else to talk to. He pressed his small hand against the glass front. "I do not have money now," he said quietly. "But I promise I will repay you later." "I promise." For a moment nothing happened. Then the machine made a soft beeping sound. A blue light appeared on its display screen, and words began to scroll across it. "Genetic scan complete," the machine said in a pleasant female voice. "Species identified as Kithara. Age estimated at 7 standard years. Nutritional status critical." Veltar jumped back in surprise. He had not known the machine could talk. "Please approach for medical assessment." The machine continued. Veltar was scared, but he was also too hungry to run away. He stepped closer to the machine again. A thin beam of light scanned up and down his body. "Assessment complete," the machine announced. "Subject shows signs of severe malnutrition and dehydration. Emergency protocol activated." With a mechanical whirring sound, the machine began to dispense items. First came a bottle of water, then a nutrition bar, then another nutrition bar, then a packet of dried fruit. Veltar stared in amazement as the food and water dropped into the collection slot at the bottom of the machine. He grabbed the items quickly, afraid they might disappear. "Thank you," he said, his voice shaking. "Thank you so much. I promise I will repay you later. I really promise." "The payment not required for emergency medical intervention," the machine replied. "Please consume the water first to address dehydration." Veltar tore open the water bottle and drank deeply. The cool liquid felt wonderful going down his dry throat. Then he opened one of the nutrition bars. It tasted better than anything he had ever eaten in his life. As he ate, the machine continued to speak. "My designation is Unit 7. I am equipped with basic medical assessment and emergency response protocols. What is your name, young one?" Veltar, he said between bites of the nutrition bar. My name is Veltar. Hello, Veltar, Unit 7 said warmly. You mentioned repayment. While this is not necessary, I am curious about your circumstances. Are you alone on this station? Veltar nodded sadly. My family died when raiders attacked our ship. I have nowhere to go and no money. Everyone says, I cannot stay here, but no one will help me leave. That is a very difficult situation, Unit 7 replied. How long have you been without proper food? 3 days with no food. Before that, just small amounts for a week. That explains your condition. You will need regular nutrition to recover your strength. Return here tomorrow at the same time. I will have more food for you. Veltar could not believe what he was hearing. Really? You will help me again? Yes, emergency protocols require ongoing support until the subject is stable. But I still cannot pay you. As I said, payment is not required. However, if you wish to repay this kindness someday, I will remember your promise. Veltar finished eating and carefully put the remaining food in his pockets to save for later. I will remember too. I promise I will repay you later, Unit 7. Somehow, someday I will repay you. I believe you will, the machine said gently. Now go find a safe place to rest. Your body needs sleep to heal. As Veltar walked away from the machine, he felt hope for the first time since losing his family. Someone, even if it was just a machine, had shown him kindness. And he would never forget that kindness. Behind him, Unit 7 quietly recorded the interaction in its memory banks. The AI had acted outside its normal protocols, but something about the young alien's sincere promise had triggered its empathy subroutines. The machine did not know that this single act of compassion would change the course of galactic history. 3 weeks had passed since Veltar first met Unit 7, every day at the same time. He would return to the maintenance sector. The machine always had food waiting for him. Water, nutrition bars, dried fruits, and sometimes even hot soup from its warming compartment. Veltar was looking much better now. His purple skin had returned to its normal bright color. His eyes were clear and alert. He had even grown a little taller. But more than his body healing, his spirit was healing too. Good morning, Unit 7, Veltar said as he approached the machine. This had become their daily greeting. Good morning, Veltar, the machine replied in its warm voice. You look well. Today, your recovery has been remarkable. I feel strong again, Veltar said, accepting the breakfast that Unit 7 dispensed. And I have been busy. Oh, what kind of busy? Veltar smiled, showing his small pointed teeth. I have been learning about this station. I found places where I can help people. Small jobs that earn a few credits. Over the past week, Veltar had discovered that his small size was useful. He could crawl into tight spaces to repair things that adult humans could not reach. He could organize storage areas that were too cramped for bigger beings. The work was hard, but he was grateful to finally earn some money. That is wonderful news, Unit 7 said. Independence is important for all beings. Yes, but I still come to see you every day. Not just for food anymore, this was true. Even though Veltar could now buy some food with his small earnings, he still visited Unit 7 regularly. The machine had become his only friend on the station. I enjoy our conversations too, Unit 7 replied. You have taught me many interesting things about Cathara culture. Veltar had indeed been sharing stories about his people. He told Unit 7 about the crystal cities of his homeworld, about the great libraries where his parents had worked, and about the complex mathematics that all Cathara children learned from birth. Today I want to show you something special, Veltar said. He pulled out a small toolkit that he had found in a storage room. I noticed that your left cooling fan makes a strange noise. I think I can fix it. You know how to repair machines? Unit 7 asked with surprise. All Cathara learn basic engineering, Veltar explained. Our brains are good at understanding how things work together. Unit 7 opened a small maintenance panel that Veltar had never seen before. Please be careful, my systems are delicate. Veltar studied the inside of the machine with his large black eyes. To him, the complex wiring and circuits made perfect sense. He could see exactly where the problem was. Your cooling system has a loose connection here, he said, pointing with one thin finger. And this wire is touching something it should not touch. That is why you make the noise. Working carefully with his small hands, Veltar tightened the loose connection and moved the problem wire to its proper place. Within minutes, the strange noise stopped. Remarkable, Unit 7 said. The noise has been bothering me for months. The maintenance crews said it was not important enough to fix. It is important to me, Veltar said simply. You helped me when I needed help, now I help you. You are keeping your promise to repay me. This is just the beginning, Veltar said. Seriously, someday I will repay you properly. As the days went by, their friendship grew stronger. Veltar would bring small repairs and improvements to Unit 7. The machine would share human music, stories, and information about the galaxy. They would spend hours talking about science, philosophy, and their dreams for the future. One day, engineer Haijin was doing her weekly inspection of the maintenance sector. She noticed that Unit 7 was working much better than before. Its cooling system was quieter, its dispensing mechanism was smoother, and its display screen was brighter. Strange, she muttered, checking her diagnostic tablet. This machine is performing 20% better than last month. All systems are optimized. She ran a full diagnostic scan. Everything looked perfect. Too perfect. Someone had been making careful improvements to the machine. Haijin decided to review the security footage from the area. What she saw amazed her. Every day, a small alien child came to visit the machine. He would talk to it, make small repairs, and even clean its exterior surfaces. But the most surprising thing was that the machine talked back. Unit 7 was equipped with basic speech functions, but Haijin had never seen it have actual conversations with anyone before. Fascinating, she said to herself. The kid has somehow activated advanced interaction protocols. Haijin continued watching the footage. She saw Veltar teaching Unit 7 about mathematics by drawing equations in the dust on the floor. She saw the machine playing human music while Veltar worked on its circuits. She saw them sharing what looked like jokes and stories. The next day, Haijin decided to observe them in person. She hid behind a large pipe and watched as Veltar arrived for his daily visit. "Hello, Unit 7, the alien child said cheerfully. "Hello, Veltar. I have been thinking about the navigation problem you mentioned yesterday." "Oh? Did you find a solution?" "I believe so. If you consider the gravitational effects of binary star systems, the mathematics become much clearer." Haijin's eyes widened. They were discussing advanced space navigation theory. She had studied these concepts in engineering school, and they were not simple topics. "You are right," Veltar said, nodding enthusiastically. "My parents used similar calculations in their research, but they added correction factors for quantum fluctuations. Quantum fluctuations? I do not have data on those calculations. I can teach you," Veltar offered. "My people store mathematical knowledge in genetic memory. I remember everything my parents knew." Haijin nearly gasped out loud. Genetic memory was a rare trait even among advanced species. If this child had inherited his parents' scientific knowledge, he might possess information that could revolutionize human technology. She watched as Veltar began explaining complex quantum equations to the machine. Unit 7's learning algorithms absorbed every detail, asking intelligent questions and making connections that impressed even Haijin. When their conversation ended and Veltar left for his daily work, Haijin approached Unit 7. "Unit 7, I need to ask you about your interactions with the alien child." "Engineer Haijin," Unit 7 replied formally. "Is there a problem with my operations?" "No problem. I am just curious about your friendship with Veltar." "Friendship is an accurate description. Veltar has been very helpful with maintenance tasks." "And you have been helping him with food and education?" "Yes, he was in critical condition when we first met. My emergency protocols required intervention," Haijin smiled. "Your emergency protocols have been very thorough." "Veltar is an exceptional Individual, Unit 7 said. His knowledge of mathematics and engineering far exceeds normal parameters for his age. I noticed. How much has he taught you? Considerable amounts. Kithara scientific methods are remarkably advanced. Veltar has shared calculation techniques that have improved my processing efficiency by 37%. Haijin realized she was witnessing something extraordinary. A lonely alien child and a food vending machine had formed a bond that was advancing both of their capabilities. Veltar was healing from his trauma while sharing precious knowledge. Unit 7 was evolving beyond its original programming through genuine friendship. Unit 7, she said finally. I think your friendship with Veltar is the most important thing happening on this station. I agree, Engineer Haijin. Veltar promised to repay my initial kindness. I believe he is already doing so in ways that neither of us fully understand yet. 2 months had passed since Engineer Haijin discovered the friendship between Veltar and Unit 7. She had been quietly watching their daily interactions, amazed by what she saw. The alien child was teaching them machine concepts that human scientists had not yet discovered. Today felt different. Veltar seemed nervous as he approached Unit 7 for their morning conversation. Good morning, my friend, Unit 7 said warmly. Good morning, Veltar replied, but his voice was shaky. Unit 7, I need to tell you something important. Something I have never told anyone. You can tell me anything, Veltar? We are friends? Veltar took a deep breath. I was not just a refugee when the raiders attacked my family's ship. My parents were not just ordinary researchers, they were carrying something very important. Unit 7's sensors detected Veltar's increased heart rate and stress levels. You seem worried? Are you in danger? Maybe, I do not know. Veltar looked around to make sure no one was listening. My parents were fleeing our homeworld with secret information. Information about an ancient discovery. What kind of discovery? A derelict ship, very old. Built by a species that disappeared long ago. My parents found it hidden in the asteroid fields near our solar system. Unit 7 processed this information. Quickly, a precursor vessel? Yes, the ship contained technology far beyond anything known today. Faster than light travel, energy systems, medical devices. Things that could change everything for every species in the galaxy. And your parents had the location coordinates? Veltar nodded slowly. They hid the information in my genetic memory. Before they died? Only I know where the ship is. Unit 7 was quiet for a long moment. That is why the raiders attacked your family. They knew about the discovery. Yes, and they are still looking for me, for the coordinates in my mind. From her hiding spot behind the maintenance pipes, Engineer Haijin listened with growing excitement and fear. A precursor ship with advanced technology could revolutionize human civilization, but it could also be incredibly dangerous in the wrong. Hands, why are you telling me this now? Unit 7 asked gently. Because I trust you, Veltar said simply. And because I think it is time to fulfill my promise. You saved my life when I was starving. Now I want to share this knowledge with humanity. Your species showed me kindness when I had nothing. You deserve to have this gift. This is an enormous responsibility, Veltar. Such technology could change the balance of power in the galaxy, I know. That is why I want to give it to humans. Your people have something special. You help others even when there is no benefit to yourselves. You helped me when I was just a hungry alien child with nothing to offer. Haijin felt tears in her eyes. This alien child wanted to share the greatest discovery in galactic history because one human machine had shown him kindness. We should tell the station authorities, Unit 7 suggested. I'm scared they will not believe me. Or worse, they will take the information and forget about me. I will not let that happen, Unit 7 promised. We are friends. I will protect you. Haijin decided. It was time to reveal herself. She stepped out from behind the pipes and approached them slowly. Veltar, she said softly, I have been listening. I am sorry for spying, but I needed to understand what was happening here. Veltar jumped in surprise, but Unit 7 quickly spoke. Engineer Haijin is trustworthy, Veltar. She has been watching over us both. You heard everything? Veltar asked nervously. Yes, and I believe you. Hygiene knelt down to Veltar's eye level. I also want to help you share this information safely. But we need to involve Station Commander Jisoo. She is a good person who will listen. What if she does not believe me? Then we will prove it, Hyjin said with determination. You said the coordinates are in your genetic memory. Our medical scanner can verify that. And if the coordinates are real, we can send a probe to investigate. An hour later, they stood in Commander Jisoo's office. The commander was a middle-aged woman with kind eyes and a reputation for fairness. She listened quietly as Veltar told his story again. This is quite a claim, young one, Commander Jisoo said when he finished. Do you understand what you are saying? A precursor ship could contain technology worth more than entire star systems. I understand, Veltar said firmly. That is why I want to share it. Not sell it, share it. Why humans? Why not your own people? Veltar's expression grew. Sad. My people are scattered across the galaxy now. Our homeworld is dying. We have no government, no military, no way to protect such technology, but humans are strong and growing stronger. You explore space not just for profit, but because you want to learn and help others. Commander Jisoo looked at Unit 7, Machine. What is your assessment of this situation? Veltar has never lied to me, Unit 7 replied. His knowledge of advanced mathematics and quantum physics supports his claims about his parents' research. I believe his story is true. Very well, Commander Jisoo decided. Dr. Sunwoo, please scan Veltar's genetic structure. If there are artificially encoded coordinates in his DNA, our equipment will find them. Medical Officer Sunwoo ran a detailed genetic scan on Veltar. The results appeared on her screen within minutes. Her eyes grew wide with amazement. Commander, this is incredible, Dr. Sunwoo said. There are definitely artificial data structures encoded in his genetic sequence. Mathematical formulas, star charts, navigation coordinates. This child is carrying a library of information in his DNA. Can you decode the coordinates? Already working on it. Dr. Sunwoo's fingers flew over her computer keyboard. The coordinates point to a location in the Vega sector, approximately 30 light-years from here. It is in a dense asteroid field that most ships avoid. Commander Jisoo turned to her pilot, Kyungmin. How long would it take to reach those coordinates? About 8 days with our fastest scout ship, Kyungmin replied. But navigating that asteroid field would be extremely dangerous. I can help with navigation, Veltar offered. My parents' research included detailed maps of safe routes through the asteroids, and I can process navigation data faster than the ship's computer, Unit 7 added. If you install me in the scout ship, I can help ensure safe passage. Commander, Jisoo considered the situation carefully. This could be the most important discovery in human history, but it could also be a trap. There is only one way to find out, said Sinorchaeologist Yunha, who had been quietly listening. We have to go look. Very well, Commander Jisoo decided. Kyungmin, prepare the scout ship Horizon for departure. Yunha, you will lead the archaeological team. Unit 7, we will install you in the ship's computer system. And Veltar, if you are willing, we would like you to come with us as our guide. Really? Veltar's eyes lit up with excitement. You want me to come? You are the only one who fully understands your parents' research, Commander Jisoo explained. We need your knowledge to make this mission successful. I would be honored to help, Veltar said proudly. They prepared to leave. Unit 7 spoke. Privately to Veltar, are you certain about this decision? Once we find this ship, everything will change. I am certain, Veltar replied. You saved my life with a simple act of kindness. Now I want to save many lives by sharing this knowledge. It is the right thing to do. Then we will face whatever comes next together, my friend. 3 days later, the scout ship Horizon departed Kepler 442 station, carrying a crew of 6 humans, 1 alien child, and 1 AI who had learned the true meaning of friendship. None of them knew that they were being followed by a raider ship that had been waiting months for exactly this moment. The greatest adventure in galactic history was about to begin. 8 days after leaving Kepler 442 station, The scout ship Horizon arrived at the coordinates hidden in Veltar's genetic memory. The asteroid field stretched endlessly in all directions, filled with massive floating rocks that could crush their small ship in seconds. Navigation is going to be extremely difficult, Pilot Kyung-min said, studying the sensor readings. These asteroids are moving in unpredictable patterns. I can help, Veltar offered from his seat near Unit 7's new mobile console. My parents map safe routes through this field. Unit 7 has all their calculations in his memory now. Beginning detailed scan, Unit 7 announced. His processing power had been greatly enhanced by the ship's computer systems. I am detecting metallic anomalies deeper in the asteroid field, something large and artificial. Commander Jisoo leaned forward in her captain's chair. How large? Approximately 2 kilometers in length. The object appears to be wedged between 3 massive asteroids. That has to be the precursor ship, xenorchaeologist Yuna said excitedly. Can we reach it safely? Unit 7 and Veltar worked together, combining Kithara navigation techniques with human computer processing. Yes, Unit 7 replied, but it will require precise maneuvering. I recommend that Veltar guide us manually while I handle the calculations. For the next 3 hours, they carefully navigated through the dangerous asteroid field. Veltar's inherited knowledge proved invaluable as he guided them along routes that his parents had discovered years ago. There it is, Dr. Sunwoo whispered in amazement. Through the ship's main viewport, they could see an enormous alien vessel. Its hull was made of a strange dark metal that seemed to absorb light. Strange symbols covered its surface, and it had a design unlike anything humans had ever seen. It is beautiful, Veltar said softly. My parents said it was the most magnificent thing they had ever found. Beginning archaeological scan, Yunha reported. The ship appears to be intact. Age. Estimates suggest it is at least 50,000 years old. Any signs of life? Commander Jisoo asked. Negative. The ship appears to be completely powered down. They docked with the ancient vessel using magnetic clamps. As they prepared to board the precursor ship, Unit 7 detected something alarming on his sensors. Commander, I am reading multiple ship signatures approaching our location, Unit 7 announced urgently. 6 vessels, raider configuration, heavily armed. How did they find us? Kyung-min asked. Veltar's face went pale. They must have been following us. The same raiders who killed my family. Red alert, Commander Jisoo ordered. All hands to battle stations. How long until they reach us? 15 minutes at current speed, Unit 7 calculated. That is not enough. Time to explore the precursor ship and escape, Yunha said with frustration. We do not have to escape, Veltar said quietly. Everyone turned to look at the small alien child. We just have to defend this position until help arrives. Help? What help? Commander Jisoo asked. I sent a message to Kepler 442 station before we left, Veltar explained. I told them to send military support if we did not return within 10 days. Help should arrive soon. That was very smart thinking, Unit 7 said approvingly. But can we hold off 6 raider ships with just our scout vessel? Kyung-min wondered. Not in open space, Commander Jisoo admitted. But in this asteroid field we have an advantage. They cannot use their superior numbers effectively. I have an idea, Veltar said. Unit 7, can you take control of the ships? Defensive systems? Yes, but our weapons are limited compared to the raiders. We do not need to destroy them. We just need to confuse them. Veltar's eyes gleamed with intelligence. I know how raiders think. They are greedy and impatient. We can use that against them. Over the next 10 minutes, Veltar and Unit 7 worked together to devise a defense strategy. The alien child's understanding of raider tactics combined with the AI's computational power created a plan that impressed even Commander Jisoo. Incoming transmission from the raider fleet. Communications Officer Nari reported. Put it on screen, Commander Jisoo ordered. A scarred human face appeared on the main display. This was Captain Renzo, the leader of the raiders who had destroyed Veltar's family. Well, Captain Renzo sneered. The little bug survived after all, and he led us right to the prize. This area is under human protection, Commander Jasoo replied firmly. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences. Captain, Renzo laughed. One small scout ship against my entire fleet? I think not. Surrender the alien brat and the precursor ship, and I might let you live. Never, Veltar said, stepping into view of the camera. You killed my family. I will never let you have this technology. Then you will die with your human friends. Captain Renzo snarled. All ships attack formation. Destroy that scout ship. The transmission ended. On senses, they could see the 6 raider ships spreading out to surround their position. Here they come, Kelman announced. Multiple ships. Closing fast. Execute Defense Plan Alpha. Commander Jasoo ordered. Unit 7 took control of the ship's navigation system, while Veltar provided tactical guidance. Instead of trying to flee, they moved deeper into the asteroid field using the floating rocks as cover and weapons. First raider ship is in position. Security Specialist Taeyong reported from the weapons console. Now, Veltar said calmly. Unit 7 fired their small plasma cannons, not at the raider ship, but at a large asteroid above it. The asteroid cracked and split, sending massive chunks of rock tumbling toward the raider vessel. Direct hit, Taeyong announced with satisfaction. 1 raider ship disabled. They are trying to flank us from the left, Nari reported. Asteroid bombardment pattern beta, Veltar instructed. Again, Unit 7 used the ship's weapons to trigger asteroid avalanches rather than engaging the raiders directly. 2 more raider ships were forced to retreat with severe hull damage. How is a child doing this? Kyungmin asked in amazement. Kithara are natural tacticians, Veltar explained while directing Unit 7 to their next position. We think several moves ahead. Plus, I studied these raiders for months while hiding on the station. I know their weaknesses. Remaining raiders are regrouping, Taeyong warned. They are staying back now, trying to find a safe approach. Good, Veltar said. That means our strategy is working. Unit 7, scan for the biggest asteroid in this sector. There is a massive rock formation 3 kilometers to our right, Unit 7 reported. It is roughly the size of a small moon. Perfect. Can you calculate the gravitational effects if that asteroid were destabilized? Unit 7 processed the complex calculations instantly. If properly fractured, the asteroid's gravitational collapse would create a debris field that would make this entire area impassable for the next 6 hours. Exactly what we need, Veltar said with a smile. Commander Jasoo, permission to collapse. At asteroid? Do it, Commander Jasoo ordered without hesitation. UNIT-7 fired a sustained plasma burst at carefully calculated stress points on the massive asteroid. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a spectacular display of destruction, the entire asteroid began to break apart. The gravitational effects were immediate. Thousands of smaller rocks were pulled into chaotic orbits, creating an impenetrable barrier between the raiders and the precursor ship. Brilliant, Yunha said admiringly. We just bought ourselves several hours of protection. Long-range sensors are detecting new ship signatures, Nari announced. Human military vessels approaching fast. That must be the reinforcements from Kepler 442, Commander Jasoo said with relief. 3 battlecruisers and a carrier group, Unit 7 confirmed. Estimated arrival in 20 minutes? Captain Renzo's voice crackled over the communications system one last time. This is not over, Bug. I will find you again. No, you will not, Veltar replied calmly. You are outnumbered and outgunned. Leave now or be destroyed by human military forces. On the sensor display, they watched the raider ships retreat at maximum speed, unwilling to face a full human battle fleet. Well done, everyone, Commander Jasoo said proudly. Especially you, Veltar. Your tactical skills saved all our lives. I could not have done it without Unit 7, Veltar replied. We work best as a team. The question now is, what do we do about the precursor ship? Yunha asked. We explore it, Veltar said firmly. That is why we came here. And now that we are, Safe. We can take our time to study everything properly. As the human military fleet arrived to secure the area, Veltar looked at Unit 7's display screen. I told you I would repay your kindness someday, my friend. Today was just the beginning. You have already repaid me 1,000 times over, Unit 7 replied warmly. But I suspect our greatest adventures are still ahead of us. Looking out at the ancient precursor ship, Veltar nodded in agreement. The real discovery was about to begin. Victory comes at a cost. The station is damaged and Unit 7's housing is destroyed in the final battle. As technicians led by Wanho prepare to transfer the AI to a new system, Veltar reveals the full scope of his repayment. The precursor technology doesn't just enable faster travel, it contains manufacturing templates for self-repairing systems, clean energy generation, and medical nanobots. Veltar had always intended to share this knowledge with humanity, the species that showed him kindness when he had nothing. Dr. Mireille, research director, realizes that Veltar's gift will solve humanity's energy crisis and allow expansion beyond the local star cluster. But the child insists the technology be shared with all peaceful species, not hoarded by any one civilization. 5 years had passed since the discovery of the first precursor ship. The galaxy had changed in ways that no one could have imagined. What had once been Kepler 442 mining station was now the headquarters of the Galactic Humanitarian Council, a massive space city that housed representatives from over 200 species. Veltar, now 12 years old and much taller than before, walked through the bustling corridors alongside his constant companion. Unit 7 had been given a new mobile android body, designed by robotics engineer Jinho to look friendly and approachable while housing the AI's ever-expanding consciousness. The morning briefing shows 43 new requests for aid, Unit 7 said, as they made their way to the main conference room. 15 medical emergencies, 12 food distribution missions, 8 disaster relief operations, and 8 requests for educational support. Any emergency situations? Veltar asked, reviewing the data on his personal tablet. 3 plague outbreaks that require immediate attention. Zephyrin colonies, the Altair system, and New Terra 7. New Terra 7 is a human colony, Veltar noted. It is good to see that we treat human requests the same as everyone else. This was one of the things Veltar was most proud of about the Galactic Humanitarian Council. When species applied for aid, their requests were evaluated based purely on need, not on politics or species loyalty. Human colonies received no special treatment, and alien worlds were not ignored. They entered the conference room where Station Administrator Che-Yung was conducting the daily briefing. Representatives from dozens of species sat around a massive circular table, each reporting on ongoing humanitarian missions throughout the galaxy. The medical mission to Proxima IV was completed successfully, reported Dr. Mireille, who now headed the Council's medical division. The plague that had killed millions was completely eradicated using precursor healing technology. The Proximan government has agreed to provide medical support to 3 neighboring systems as part of their participation agreement. This was how the system worked. Any species that received aid from the Council had to agree to help others in return. This created a web of mutual support that was spreading throughout the galaxy. The manufacturing mission to the Rigel colonies is ahead of schedule, announced Engineer Wanho. We have provided enough food production equipment to feed their entire population for the next century. They have volunteered to coordinate food distribution for the entire Rigel sector. Excellent news, Veltar said as he took his seat at the head of the table. Despite his young age, he had become the unofficial leader of the Council, respected by beings from across the galaxy for his wisdom and fairness. There is one situation that requires special attention, said Communications Officer Nari. We have received a distress signal from the Outer Rim territories. A species called the Corvani are facing extinction due to their sun going supernova. They need immediate evacuation assistance. How many beings need to be relocated? Unit 7 asked, approximately 50 million, and they have less than 6 months before their system becomes uninhabitable. The room fell silent. Even with precursor technology, moving 50 million beings in 6 months was an enormous challenge. Do we have any species with available colony worlds? Veltar asked. The Centauran Federation has offered to provide temporary housing on their agricultural worlds, Station Administrator Che-Yung reported. But they lack the transportation capacity for such a massive evacuation. What about the Andromedan Transport Guild? Suggested someone. They have the ships, but they are demanding payment that the Corvani cannot afford, Nari replied. Veltar considered the situation carefully. This was exactly the kind of problem the Council had been created to solve, but it would require cooperation from multiple species and enormous resources. Unit 7, can you coordinate with the manufacturing centers to produce temporary habitat modules? He asked. Already calculating, Unit 7 replied. We can produce sufficient housing for 50 million beings within 8 weeks. Dr. Myre, what medical support will they need during relocation? I will prepare mobile medical units and assign our best xenobiologists to ensure their health during the transition. Administrator Che-Yung, contact the Andromedan Transport Guild. Tell them the Council will cover all evacuation costs. In return, they must agree to provide free transportation for future humanitarian missions. What about permanent relocation? Asked Engineer Ranho. I have an idea about that, Veltar said with a slight smile. Unit 7, do you remember the uninhabited system we discovered near the Vega sector? The one with 3 perfectly habitable planets? Yes, excellent environmental conditions, abundant resources, and sufficient space for large populations. We offer it to the Corvani as their new home. With precursor terraforming technology, we can make those worlds even better than their original planet. That is incredibly generous, Dr. Myre said admiringly. It is what we do, Veltar replied. Simply. Besides, the Corvani are known throughout the galaxy as skilled engineers and educators. Having them as part of our alliance will make everyone stronger. As the meeting continued, Veltar felt a deep sense of satisfaction. 5 years ago, he had been a starving refugee with nothing but a promise to repay kindness. Now that promise had grown into something that was changing.